This is the land of Israel, a kingdom chosen by God, blessed with mighty warriors, wise prophets, and a people bound by faith. From the small villages of Bethlehem to the fortified cities of Jerusalem and Gibeah, Israel thrives under the rule of its first king, Saul, son of Kish. Yet beneath this peace, shadows loom. Across the valley, the Philistines, Israel's greatest enemy, gather their forces. Armed with iron weapons, their warriors march in defiance, led by Goliath, a giant of war, undefeated and feared. For 40 days, the Israelites have stood in fear, watching from their camp as Goliath taunts them. Even King Saul, once a mighty warrior, sits on his throne with doubt in his heart. Far from the battlefield, in the quiet hills of Bethlehem, lived a young shepherd named David. He was the youngest son of Jesse, a boy of no royal birth, no armor, and no sword. While warriors trained for battle and kings sat on thrones, David spent his days tending sheep, guiding them through the valleys and playing music to the heavens. Before David ever faced Goliath, God had chosen him for something greater. The prophet Samuel came to the house of Jesse, searching for the next king of Israel.
Surely this must be the one God has chosen.
A voice from God spoke softly to the king and Samuel.
Do not look at his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. Man looks at the outward appearance, but I, the Lord, looks at the heart.
Samuel quietly asked Jesse,
Jesse, are these all your sons?
No, there is still the youngest, David, but he is tending to the sheep.
Send for him at once.
Jesse sent the servant to get David from the pasture lands. David enters, wiping sweat from his forehead, bows down in front of the apostle Samuel and his father Jesse, confused about why he was called. The Lord again spoke to Samuel and Jesse.
He is the one, anoint him.
Samuel anoints David's head with oil.
The Lord has chosen you, David. One day you will be king.
David looks shocked, while his brothers exchange doubtful glances. Sometime later, war broke out between the Israelites and the Philistines. A giant warrior named Goliath stepped forward and challenged Israel.
Ha! Is there no one in Israel brave enough to fight me? Choose a man to face me. If he defeats me, we will be your servants. But if I win, you will serve us forever.
The Israelites murmur in fear, looking at each other nervously. Even King Saul appears worried. David, carrying food, approaches the Israelite camp and finds his brothers.
My father sent me for food. How is the battle going? There is no battle. That giant Goliath comes out every day to challenge us, and no one dares fight him.
No one? But why?
What do you know about war? Go back to your sheep, little brother.
I may be young, but I know one thing. No one should insult the army of the living God.
A soldier overhears David and rushes to tell King Saul. David stood before King Saul, who looks him up and down, surprised by his youth.
You are just a boy. How can you fight Goliath?
When I was watching my father's sheep, I fought off lions and bears. God protected me then, and He will protect me now.
If you are so determined, may the Lord be with you. Take my armor.
The king sent the servants to get his armor.
I like the armor, my king, but I cannot fight like this. I will use what I know best. My king, can I please go get my slingshot? I've used it to kill animals that attack my flock, and with the Lord by my side, I will use it to defeat Goliath.
David kneels by a stream and picks up 5 smooth stones, placing them in his pouch. David kneels down and prays to the Lord.
Father Lord, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. Please lead me and Israel to victory.
The cloud roared, and Israel feared. Israel faces war, and little David had been chosen to face Goliath, the giant.
Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? Come here, and I will crush you.
David approaches Goliath as Goliath laughs, but deep within David is belief in the Lord.
You come against me with a sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today God will give me and Israel victory, and all will know that the battle belongs to Him.
David looks at Goliath as he put his stone in his slingshot, ready to defeat the giant with hope. The stone flies through the air and strikes Goliath in the forehead. Goliath stumbles, then falls to the ground with a loud thud. The Israelites cheer loudly, and the Philistines bow in fear. King Saul celebrates the victory with his people, and the women sing songs of praise to David, and the Lord and Israel lived happily. David was hailed across Israel. Though David was victorious, this was only the beginning of his journey. His faith in God made him fearless, and one day he would become Israel's greatest king.